Coach, welcome home.
They got their guy, the University of Oklahoma, welcoming a new head coach, Brent Venables, to the Palace on the Prairie.
The keys to the Palace.
His plan for the team, the players, and the future of OU football.
I'm not sure when the last time I felt so fulfilled and excited.
And the message from OU fans for the new head coach.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Brent.
We're live with the news Sooner Nation has been waiting for.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 5.
For the first time, your new head football coach, Brent Venables.
All right, here we go. A new head coach officially named for the Oklahoma Sooners. After a week of searching, Brent Venables will take the helm as the 23rd head coach for OU. Of course, returning to Oklahoma after serving as an assistant under Bob Stoops for more than a decade. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Abigail Ogle.
I'm Evan Onstad. Venables, of course, left OU to become defensive coordinator at Clemson. Things went pretty well for him there, and now he is back. We have team coverage tonight. KOCO Sports Director Brian Keating standing by. We do want to begin with Megan Mosley, who's been in Norman all day. And Megan, Sooner Nation really came ready with a warm welcome here.
That's right, guys. The energy inside the training center today was unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, outside of a Saturday in the stadiums. But the fans that showed up today came ready to show out for Coach Venables.
The Sooner tradition, right? You see all the greats, all the great coaches, who it seems all names start with a B.
Sooner Nation cheering loud and proud for the 23rd head coach of OU, Brent Venables.
When he came to Norman, along with Coach Stoops, in 1999, that was his first time. And he comes to Norman in 21 now, 22. This will be the last time. He is home for good.
Brent Venables, former Clemson defensive coordinator, ready to put in work at OU again.
And as I stand here, just in awe, and the coolest thing, getting off the plane last night to see the welcoming and hurricane-type wind weather. That was my comfort zone.
You look at the resume, and I know you all already know it, but our new coach has a resume that's second to none.
Sooner Nation greeting him at his arrival last night, some even remembering his last time coaching for OU.
He was here before and we got to know him before, and he's going to be a great asset for the University of Oklahoma and our football program.
OU ready with open arms.
Coach, welcome home.
Guys, that was the main message today. Welcome home, Coach. And tonight at 6, I'll have more fan reactions and how long they've been waiting for this day to arrive. In Norman, Megan Mosley, KOCO 5 News.
Well, obviously the reason for all that excitement, I mean, fans, they're telling me this. They just feel that Venables is the right coach to take them to championships.
But how's he going to do that? The new coach spent some time talking about his plans today. KOCO Sports Director Brian Keating was there. Brian, just tell us what he had to say about this. A lot of pressure, too.
I mean, if you're going to be the head coach at OU, there's pressure. No doubt about that. His plans are to start recruiting, and I think recruiting is a big deal. We talked to him for about 30 minutes. He actually had to cut it short because he had a schedule. He had to get out there and start recruiting. So that recruiting, number one. But I think the theme of the day when you talk to anybody, it was Oklahoma football and family and tradition, and now try to build on that tradition. And Brent Venables is a guy that's had opportunities to be a head coach, but he's waited for that right opportunity. And he said Oklahoma finally was that right opportunity.
You would have asked me, 10 years ago, as I walked out of my office for the last time, and if I thought I'd be here 10 years later as the head football coach, I would have told you needed to check yourself and do a mental institution. And the biggest reason is it's just this is Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is a special place.
So these are some of the photos tweeted out by OU football. The head coach back at OU after spending 10 years, of course, with the Clemson Tigers. Right, but he was with Bob for 13 years as defensive coordinator with the Sooners, and Bob's fired up to have him back with the program. So here's Bob Stoops tweeting it out. It just says, Brent Venables, the absolute perfect fit to lead OU football to more championships. Boomer! And so, very cool stuff there. There is one other question that I think a lot of people have, is why did it take so long? Why did it take a whole week if you were going to hire Brent Venables? He was there. Why didn't you do it last week? And so Joe Castiglione answered that question.
Coach was my first call, but I think, and he would agree, I owe it to the University of Oklahoma and to him and his candidacy to have a process.
And that process leads to the 23rd head coach of the Oklahoma football Sooners, Brent Venables. Guys.
All right, Brian Keating. Many Sooners who played under Coach Venables are calling this a great hire. Spoke to one last night. 2006 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year Rufus Alexander also joined us this morning. He says that Venables was a no-nonsense coach.
His knowledge for the game, I think he'll get that into a lot of the players that are there now. I think he does a lot with talent that you don't really see from the beginning, but he polishes into something great, and he's done that with me and countless other guys.
I was talking to Rufus about this hire last night. He said that he just fits the OU mold. It makes sense. Venables spent 13 seasons as an assistant for OU, and he was part of the OU coaching staff that won the 2000 national championship.
And we have much more on the arrival of Coach Brent Venables, posted right now on our KOCO app, from his arrival at Max Westheimer in Norman last night to both of those press conferences held today. You can find it all right there in the palm of your hand. But hey, we need to get to this right now because we are tracking a temperature roller coaster this week.
If you notice, those winds were so strong moving over the airport last night. Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane, that was bringing in some much colder weather, and Sooner fans were really feeling it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, they actually had to change their runway arrival because that front came right in as Coach was there to land. So in the meantime, but look at the air behind this front. It is incredibly chilly outside. Right now, compared to this time yesterday, we are 30 degrees colder in Oklahoma City, 35 degrees colder in southwestern Oklahoma. Fortunately, the winds have come down. Finally, it is incredibly windy last night, and those temperatures are going to come down as well. Right now, 41 degrees here in Oklahoma City. Already 39 from El Reno, Watauga, Fairview, Woodward, Arnett, and Buffalo. Perry right now, 39 degrees, and these winds now under 10 miles per hour. Big changes, though, not just one, but now two record-setting days this week when you can now expect to see record warmth coming up. Abby?
All right, Damon. This happening right now. Police searching for someone who fired shots into a car Friday here in Northeast OKC.
The driver and the passenger were both hit. Two children in the back seat at the time were unharmed. This happened Friday night near Northeast 13th and Grand. The victims say that they noticed a car following them before that car pulled up alongside them and opened fire.
At some point during the investigation, there was a projectile actually found in one of the juveniles' diapers. There was also a bullet hole in the diaper bag in the back seat, but again, the children were not hit.
That is horribly frightening. The suspect car sped away, and authorities right now do not have much of a description, only that it was a white sedan. Officers are classifying this right now as a random act of violence, and they are asking anyone with information to come forward. More than 4,200 new cases of COVID-19 reported statewide since Friday. 1,800 of those reported Saturday alone. And 28 new virus-related deaths also reported today. That officially pushes Oklahoma's COVID-19 death count up over 12,000 since the pandemic first hit our state back in March of 2020. Today, we are learning new, potentially promising information about the Omicron variant of COVID.
And this as travel guidelines and vaccine requirements take effect across the country. KOCO's Jared Hill in our Washington bureau tonight with the new details at 5.
Evan and Abigail, leaders are saying that this is about saving lives, but also avoiding the shutdowns that we're seeing go across Europe right now.
As Omicron sweeps across South Africa, optimism from American health officials.
Thus far, the signals are a bit encouraging regarding the severity.
Data suggests hospitalizations and deaths have not increased at an alarming rate in the country where this variant first popped up. But authorities here aren't letting their guards down. As of today, anyone flying into the U.S. has to show a negative test result within 1 day of departure, not 3 days like before. While the U.S. flight ban on people coming from several southern African countries still stands,
that's something that's being evaluated and discussed on a daily basis.
Meanwhile, today, New York City announced a new set of vaccine mandates. By December 27th, all private employers will have to require their workers be vaccinated, and anyone 5 and up will have to show proof of vaccination for indoor dining and entertainment.
We cannot have shutdowns here in New York City. And that's why I describe the actions we're taking today as a preemptive strike. Get ahead of this problem before it deepens.
In the U.S., Delta is still the dominant variant. It's why the White House says this week people on Medicare are going to start getting email and text message reminders about getting a booster shot. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jared Hill for KOCO 5 News.
All right, Jared, thank you. And as of now, Omicron has been found in more than a dozen states. At least 17 fully vaccinated passengers on a cruise ship docked in New Orleans tested positive. Reportedly, one case was the Omicron variant, but none of them have shown any symptoms. We have an in-depth look at COVID data on the KOCO app, from new cases and, unfortunately, death toll to vaccination rates, and links to help you get vaccinated if you'd like to. You'll find it all in the story on the homepage.
Developing today, the United States will not send any diplomats to China for the upcoming Winter Olympics. Team USA will still send athletes, but the White House announced a diplomatic boycott today over China's human rights record. A spokesperson for China's foreign ministry says the U.S. diplomats weren't invited anyway. The opening ceremony is February 4th. Also developing in the sports world today, the reigning Kentucky Derby winner collapsed and died at a racetrack in California.
Trainer Bob Baffert said Medina Spirit had a heart attack at the Santa Anita racetrack. Now, a full necropsy will determine what exactly caused the horse's death. You'll remember after the Derby, Medina Spirit tested positive for an illegal steroid and could still be disqualified as the winner of that race.
After a year of uncertainty, the Oklahoma City Civic Center bringing back a holiday tradition when you can take the whole family to see the Nutcracker in OKC. That's coming up.
And we have another wild week of weather coming this way. The winter cold tonight and then the record warmth moving in coming up.